I wanted to give you guys an update on everything that was going on because I was on a coaching call last night, right? And on that coaching call, I was talking to somebody and I couldn't convince them for the life of me. I couldn't convince them for the life of me to divest themselves against this duress mindset, right? And it just kind of popped up in my head. And I was like, bro, you nothing but a slave. And he was like, what you call me? I said, bro, you nothing but a slave. You're a modern day slave, right? And he said after he got over himself, right, and after he started thinking about what it was that I was trying to communicate to him, he started to think about it a little bit differently, right? And he said, "Well, what do you mean I'm a modern day slave?" And so, in his situation specifically, and I don't want to get into the details because I don't tell anybody's business, right? But just to bring the story full circle, most people call me and they say something like, Anton, should I pay off my debt first, or should I take advantage of this really good opportunity in order to invest, right? And I tell them the same thing the whole time, right? And I always use an analogy, and I say, hey, if you're trying to get to the top of the mountain, you're trying to become the best version of yourself, do you want to have to climb up the mountain with rocks in your backpack? And rocks in your backpack is the equivalent of having debt on you, right? So let me break down these three spaces of financial bondage that most people find themselves in but don't even realize it because you've already been tricked to think that you're actually making progress, because what we like to do is we like to compare ourselves to the general population that allows for us to continue to stay in bondage, right? So there's three levels when it comes to financial bondage, right? Now, keep in mind, I used to be in financial bondage and I've actually experienced all three levels. But then there's a fourth level, but it's not financial bondage, right? The first level, the very first level is you are nothing but a cotton picking, bullfighting, entertainment having, getting whipped looking like, poverty stricken slave. Let me say it to you one more time. You are nothing but a cotton picking nanny slave, bro. That's the bottom rung. That is the people that are in the fields. Those are the ones that got brought straight over from the Atlantic slave trade and then got traded, and they was on an auction block, and they was trying to pick and picking at your muscles to see which ones is going to be the tallest and the strongest, and who can fight the hardest, and who can pick the most, and who they gonna breed like dogs. That's literally, listen. If you are in a space to where you're sitting here going back and forth with me about trying to make it to average, you are at level one. You are the cotton picking slave that is literally in the field every single day, and you're going to work until you die. Those are the people that are in poverty. That is the majority of the people that's looking for a stimulus or a handout from the federal government in order to be able to survive. There are plenty of slaves and slave owners today. And I'm going to break it down to you and I'm going to help you to understand, because guess what I am? I'm a modern day slaver. I'm a modern day slaver. But listen, let me start from the bottom. You are a cotton picker. You have no control over whether or not you're going to eat tomorrow, because it's all dependent on whether or not your massa is going to ensure that you have an opportunity to even be able to go and do the minimum possible in order to ensure that you are still going to be my barista. You're going to be the person that worked for me at Wendy's and McDonald's. You're going to be my janitor. You're going to clean my seats. You're going to deliver my groceries. Now, you were born into this, right? So it doesn't mean that you can't get out of it, but it means that you've been enslaved with a mindset to believe that just because everybody around you is a slave, that you have to stay that way. You have to stay that way. And here's the worst part about it. The worst part about it is that you're going to do this from the day you born until the day you die. And the best part about it for people like me, the best part about it for people like me is that we know that you're going to continue to breed yourselves so that we have more of you even after we've divested ourselves from you having any use for us going forward. You're going to continue to breed so that you have more of you for the prison industrial complex that's for profit. You're going to breed more of you so that we can make sure that we get you more of y'all inside of the Amazon warehouses. Every single person that finds themselves standing on a corner, putting themselves in a position to get arrested, funding our police, because we need more of them, and so we're going to continue to pay the taxes to make sure that they can corral y'all as y'all continue to try to escape y'all poverty. Because you thought that escaping poverty was one way, but it's a completely different way. You are at the bottom rung. You are level one, cotton picking, plantation slave. That's what you are. But it's a second level, right? And the second level is the house Negro. Let me break it down for you. The second level is the house Negro, because the house Negro is really just the middle class. Let me break it down for you. You still a slave. You're still owned. But you think that because you're slightly better than the one that's inside of the plantation and the cotton fields, you think you better than them. You think you better than the ones that's in the field still picking cotton, because you get to cook the food now. You get to sweep the floors. You got a little bit better of a job. So now, since you're not physically working, you're not in the plants, you're not picking up the boxes, you're not delivering the UPS packages, you're not doing the janitor work, you think that just because you get to be a call representative at the help desk, that makes you better than everybody else because they gave you a title and they said, oh, you IT now. You IT now, right? Because you a help desk representative, you a call center representative, so you don't have to use your physical body, but you can use your mind. Listen, come on in the house. And they gave you a little bit more money and some benefits. So just in case anything happened to you, we gonna take you over to the medic over here. But the reality is that you still owned, you live in hand to mouth. Your fate is being decided on whether or not the federal government or your employer is going to give you enough money to survive. And you're no better than the person that's in the field. The only difference is that they think that they better because their hands is not hurting, when in reality, they still gonna get whooped like everybody else. Come on, man. The middle class is level 2 in financial bondage, because they'll never make enough to actually get themselves out of the situation, but they're going to get these little trinkets and these cars and all of these things that make them feel like they're better than the person that's next to them, when in reality, they're no different, because they're going to work until they die. And then the minute that they ever stop working, they're going to be homeless like they are in LA, San Francisco, San Diego, Washington, D.C., Detroit. Every single place that you go to, you're still going to be in the exact same space that you was in the person above. You right above. The reason they call it a job is because it's just over broke. Every last one of these people, when they got laid off, when the pandemic hit, they was begging a landlord not to call. Even if you had a mortgage, you were begging the mortgage company for forbearance and then to forgive what it is that you got, because everybody else did it. But there's a third level. There's a third level. And no, you're wrong, Crown Life, because you're a slave regardless of whether or not you got to work for. Because even if you work for yourself, you're still dependent on other people in order to survive. It's a third level, right? You got the field Negro, that's level 1, that's poverty. You got the middle class, that's the house one. But then the third level of bondage is the people that actually get to the point where they can buy their freedom. But you're still in bondage, right? because you still can't go where you want to go. You can't do what you want to do. A lot of times people think that they've escaped racism and slavery simply because they've been able to escape from the plantation and buy their freedom. They sell this to you in the form of own a house, 401k, all of these different things, right? And then you work hard enough to get a pension or to be able to retire. So you've worked literally like the butler. You just like Lee Daniels, the butler, in which you've worked for the last 60 years, 70 years just to retire at 69 and a half, have 11 years to be able to live, and then you die. You worked 70 years, and your entire life was to work until you die. You got just enough. You planning to hopefully not run out of enough money in order to be able to live until you die. And you still can't go where you want to go. You can't even use the right water fountain. They got a separate water fountain for you. It's a black's water fountain and then it's a white's water fountain. And you know what that's representative of financially? You can't come up to first class with the rest of us. You can't drive what you want to drive. You can't go where you want to go. You're restricted. And the biggest trick that they play on you is to make you feel like you okay because everybody else is doing it. And so as a result, you justify your circumstances by saying, well, I don't need all of that in order to be happy. Neither did the ones that was in the field, because they allowed them to get married so that they continue to breed. Neither did the ones that was in the house. They continued to they said happiness is your mind state. And you can't buy happiness, so you might as well stay where you are because it really doesn't matter your circumstances. It don't matter what car you got. It. Listen, it's about getting from point A to point B. Matter of fact, you can work and still be happy. You can work and still be happy. Or you can take this social security check, which is tying you to the federal government in order to make sure that you continue to vote a certain type of way. And you can still be whatever it is that you want to be. Matter of fact, you worked long enough to where I'm going to let you have your freedom. Go out there and choose where you want to work. Go ahead and start your own business to where you don't work for anybody. You in level 3 bondage. You can work for yourself now. You can start your own farm. Hopefully we come over and buy your stuff, or when there's a recession, you'll come back to the federal government and beg us for some kind of subsidy or some kind of help. You'll do it. A lot of people that start businesses don't even realize that all they doing is they create another job for themselves. You're creating another job for yourself, but guess what you still have to do? Pay into the tax system in order to make sure that we continue to control the rest of the slaves within the prison industrial complex. You can't choose to walk away. I don't care if you're working for somebody or you're not working at all. You gonna get your monkey butt up and you gonna work every single day. Every day. You can't choose not to work. You can sit here and reprogram your mind into believing that, I'm a boss. I work for myself. Yeah, okay. Choose not to get to work, go up and get to work for the next year and see what happens. Choose not to. Choose it. I dare you. Choose not to get up and go to work every day and then tell me what it turns out like. I'll let you have your freedom. Just make sure you don't come over to our water fountain. And make sure that you don't get that pie over there because that's my pie. Those are the 3 levels. It's the poverty people that's in the field. It's the middle class that just graduated into the house. And it's the 3rd level that you still can't even use the water fountain or pick what pie you want to eat because you're still in bondage mentally because all you did was work enough just so you can die. That's all you did. You worked enough so that you can die. Here's the beautiful thing about it, though. It's a 4th level, but it's not financial bondage. You know what I am? You know what I am? I'm the modern day white man. I'm the slaver now. And you know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because I own enough properties, A, to where I've never have to work again. I have enough assets to where I've never. But that's not what makes me a slaver. I'm gonna tell you what makes me a slaver. What makes me a slaver is that if my tenants don't pay the rent, guess where they go? They fund my lifestyle. They fund my first class flights. They fund every single thing that I do. I'm going to eat off of their hard work. They go to work every day to pay me. Every day. Every day. When you're an owner and when you actually have assets, those assets continue to go and get more assets. Let them not pay the rent and see what happens. 50 lashes. Go and not pay the rent. I dare you. I dare you to not pay my rent. I don't have no debt. I don't have no credit cards. Nothing. I just paid $163,000 to pay off my last mortgage on the 19th property that I have. Real talk. My assets, my money. Let me tell you something. I retired in 2019. 2019. This right here, I bought this just because I like it. And it's worth double what I paid for it. Here, let me show it to you. For those of you in the back that's feeling a certain type of way. Real talk. The government incentivizes me to buy more and more plantations, to buy more and more property, to buy more and more real estate, to ensure that we can house all of you that will continue to work to ensure that my rent is paid every single month on the first of the month, and I dare you to be late. Because if you late, I'm gonna charge you a late charge, and I'm gonna keep you more in financial bondage. I'm a slaver, a financial slaver. I am going to ensure that I keep every single person that is on any of my properties gainfully employed. I might even have them work for me in order to ensure that they'll never be able to buy their own freedom. Ever. You'll never have your own. You'll never be free. You know why? Because let you miss a payment, let your unemployment check don't come in, let the economy crash. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. See, there is no mortgage company that has a hold on me because 100% of the profits outside of the taxes, because you know we got to have the taxes because I want the police to be able to capture you if you decide to run off my plantation. I got to pay my property taxes, right? I pay my insurance just in case I see y'all up there messing up the shed. Then I got to go in there and kick you out. Don't miss. Let's recap for a second. Let's recap. All right? Level 1, financial bondage, poverty. You'll never escape. You know why they got the payday loans right next to the most poverty-stricken places? It's so that we, the slavers, can continue to charge you interest at an egregious rate. And then you got to beg your legislative branches in order to try to get some regulation on how much we can charge you for money that you owe us. And don't miss, because then I'm going to go to court, I'm going to sue you, and then I'm going to levy your wages for the rest of your life until you pay me back. I'm going to take 25% of everything you make for the rest of your life until you pay me back. Don't miss. See, you thought that because they gave you credit And then I see people on a regular basis saying, well, do he got good credit? That just means you're going to be a better slave. You going to be a boy. Listen, I clap with glee as a slaver, as a financial slaver. I clap with glee when I see one of my house Negroes got good credit. Oh, you's a good one. You's a good Negro. That means I'm going to make sure that you get all of your slavery and all of your work and all of your cotton picking and all of my stuff and my rent on time. You showing me you's a good Negro. You's a good one. What? You got a 740 plus? Get him a good rate. Make sure that he get everything he need to be able to rent effectively from me. Run his credit report. Make sure he got a good job. Bring him on into time, dog. Eyes like yous. Eyes likes yous. Hey. What is his history? He work hard all his life and he pay his bills on time and he stay in debt. You perfect. You are perfect for the United States of America. As like you. As like you. You not level one. Because the level one ones, we gotta deal with them a little bit differently. We got to deal with them a little. They unruly. They don't want to go to work regularly. Now they still gonna be in bondage because they'll never be able to buy their own freedom. And we know that we got to get. Oh man, get that lint on my beard. We know that we got to. We know we got to tame them, right? We know we got to love. We got to tame the level ones. The level twos, you give them a little bit more responsibility, not freedom. You give them a little bit more responsibility. You just got to make them feel like they better than the ones that's in the field. Just make them feel like they're a little bit better than the ones in the field. Think about it, right? It's just like women. If you make the light skinned one feel like they better than the dark skinned one, then the light skinned one is gonna bust it down way more than the dark skinned one because she gonna feel like all the men like me, and so I got to give it up to everybody. Oh, you's a good slut. You's a good slut. We like you. We like you. See, you thought that you was better than a darker one because everybody was paying you more attention. So we brought you in the house and we bust you down. We like you. Love us some fair skin bust downs. I love me some fair skin bust downs, y'all. You thought you was better than the other one. We just gonna use you more. And you're gonna feel like you're better than the ones because we paying you more attention. And when in reality, come on, man. Let's recap. Let's recap one more time for the people in the back. Shout out to Jada Legend. Sports media says, Anton, don't hurt him. I'm just going to tell him the truth. Now, whether or not you ever want to get out of bondage, that's up to you. Link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right? Level 1, you in the field. Those are the poverty-stricken ones. They're always going to be required to move a certain type of way based off of what we determine for them. Level 2, that's the middle class. You thought that you was better just because we brought you in a house. When in reality, all we gave you was a sense of hope, but you're going to work your whole life. And the worst part about it is, you still going to live hand to mouth for your entire life. We're going to give you a car, right? That's another bed. We're going to give you some good credit. That means that we're going to be able to control you even more. Level 3, those are the ones that actually worked their whole life and then we gave them a pension. But you're never going to be able to eat that whites only pie. You're never, ever, ever going to be able to use that water fountain, and you bet not cross the street. And you know what that is? Those are people that worked in the middle class their whole life, and then they did what they were supposed to do, but they never was able to really buy their freedom because they can't do what they want to do when they want to do it. You are still restricted based off of your circumstances and issues, and they told you to be happy and to be comfortable with it because everybody else only make $47,000, $48,000, $49,000 a year. And so you good because you right in the middle. You doing what you supposed to do. But it's a whole nother level that a lot of y'all are not, you're not privy to. And you never will be. And you know why you won't be? Because you are too cheap to actually invest in yourself enough to actually buy your real freedom and then to control what it is that you can. See, here's the thing. You can't divest yourself from the system because then that would mean that you don't live. You got to work. You got to make money. You got to do something. But the difference is, what are you going to do with it? Do you utilize it as a resource and as a tool, or do you just use it as an opportunity to make excuses as to why you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life? Right? We all gotta generate income one way or another. But then you're gonna have to determine whether or not you want to be a slaver or you want to be the person that's in slavery and bondage for the rest of your life and then breeding your kids to do the exact same thing. I'd rather be the person that they paying the rent to. I'd rather be the lender, not the borrower. I'm the lender. I'm not a borrower. I determine what happens with other people, not the other way around. You're going to have to figure out what role you want to play in society because you're going to play a role. Ain't no fence riding on this one. Either you're going to get it or you're going to be got. I'd rather be the person that's slaving than the person that's getting slaved over. Shout out to New Era. I appreciate you, big dog. Says, if what's being said makes you angry, level up. Oh, we don't care about their feelings because you still got to pay your rent. You still need a place to live. And you don't even know that you're renting from me because I don't even have anything in my name anymore. I'm not even really sure that I really exist on paper outside of YouTube and the internet. I got trusts, businesses, LLCs, and I got a wife. I'm not sure that I bought anything in my name in the last 7 to 10 years. You don't even know you're renting from me. You don't even know you're giving me money. You don't even know that every single MacBook that you buy, every iPhone, every time you drink a Coca-Cola drink, you are ensuring that I get richer. I want you to drink as much soda as you can find. I want you to take as many flights as you can take. I want you to buy as many iPhones as you can. Go and buy every piece of Louis Vuitton product, anything you can find, go and get it. Drink as much Hennessy as you can. Because every single time that you do, I get a check quarterly to ensure that the profits are going up. Every time you buy a pair of Nikes, thank you. You know what I do? I wake up in the morning and I said, thank you, God, for black people continuing to buy the things that they don't need in order to ensure that I get richer every single day. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for them continuing to want to pretend to look rich instead of actually getting rich because it makes me richer as a result of it. Thank you, God. Thank you for that chick that continues to buy all of the things that she don't need to impress men that don't even like her because every day she makes me richer. Thank you for them over there buying bottles in the club because they don't even know that I own the land that they're renting that from because I've decided to get into commercial real estate. Thank you because they're insuring my pockets and my daughter and my legacy and my kids are always going to have for the rest of their life. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for these people that continue to try to do the things that nobody is impressed by so that they can ensure that we are richer every single day. Thank you for our slaves, God. You are a provider. You are a blessing. God bless you. What? They want to buy a car that they can't even afford, that they can't even write off from a business perspective, just so they can impress some hoes in the club? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, God. Sorry. I mean, oh yeah, my bad. We were supposed to hide that secret from the people. Hey, erase this live stream. Make sure that the people don't really understand that they continue to pour money into all of our pockets because we want to make sure that they think that they're free so that we can continue to enslave them financially. Come on, man. Come on, y'all.